This is UMAR Ahmed for IFL TV in association with MTK Global and the BT Sports Studios. Pleasure to be joined by Bob ARUM. How are you finding the UK, Bob?
Oh, I love the UK. It's the first time I've been here in 50 years that I've seen the sun.
Same for all of us, probably. How was your meal last night at Sheesh?
It was good. It was very, very good. I loved the atmosphere. The food was, the steaks were great. The grass-fed steaks from the United States. Nothing can be better.
One of my favourite restaurants, and I saw you there down there last night. Yeah, we're here for sort of a Fury Schwarz presser. He's been heavily criticised, Tom Schwarz, as an opponent. Do you want to kind of defend Tom as an opponent for Tyson Fury?
Well, what I have to say is I think Schwarz is a very good, competent opponent. And if a fight was made between Schwarz and Andy Ruiz, Schwarz would be a 4-1 favorite. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, I mean, Eddie Hearn has been quite vocal in saying Wilder Brazil and Joshua Ruiz are much more competitive fights than Tyson Fury and Tom Schwarz.
Well, maybe he could have said it when he had Miller as the opponent, but he can't sell it now with Andy Ruiz.
You said in the presser there that within 1 year you believe he'll be undisputed champion. Is that realistic, seeing as politics, etc., in boxing?
Well, politics are politics. I think the Wilder fight will happen. I think maybe 1 year is maybe a little optimistic, but certainly by the end of 2020, I see these guys fighting. You got to remember, what I know about Joshua, what I know about Wilder, is they also are courageous guys who believe that they're invincible. And therefore, when you have fighters like that, promoters won't be able to stand in the way of making these really good fights.
Bob, you seem very confident that sort of the American media and the American public are really going to take to Tyson as he sort of launches into the US with this ESPN deal. What makes you say that?
Oh, a little bit comes from my experience, you know. I mean, I'm not a Ukrainian, I'm an American, and I've been promoting fighters and events in America for many, many years. And I think I know a little bit what sells and what appeals to the American public. And matching what Tyson has to offer with what the American public embraces, I think it's a match made in heaven.
Bob, I quickly want to talk about the WBC. They put an order out for Tyson Fury with Dillian Whyte. What do you sort of make of the WBC ordering that?
Well, the WBC has put that order out, and that's an order that has absolutely no mandatory effect, because if Tyson wanted to go that way and Whyte wanted to go that way, fine, but I don't think Tyson has any intention of doing that. But, you know, the WBC took two of the best heavyweights in the world and said, why don't you fight for some mandatory position, and then you can fight Wilder, while Wilder is out there begging to fight Tyson Fury. So it makes little sense.
What do you make of Dillian Whyte as a heavyweight in this landscape? We know ESPN were kind of in talks with Dillian a couple of months ago, a month ago. Is Dillian someone you're interested in?
Dillian Whyte's a very good heavyweight, and we certainly were interested in him, we'll see. But again, we had interesting talks with him, and he decided temporarily to go in a different direction. But he certainly is a top tier heavyweight.
Just the last one on the WBC. They ordered, obviously, Lomachenko, Luke Campbell. Have you seen Eddie Hearn's comments? He's very sort of upset or confused as to why Lomachenko's sort of been ordered to fight for the WBC title when he's not ranked with that governing body. What do you make of his comments?
Well, what I make of his comments is he should read the rules of the WBC and the provisions which allow the WBC to make the position take the position that they did. And as far as Mauricio Suleiman in the WBC is, wouldn't you want the best lightweight in the world to represent your organization? Of course you would. So I don't know what they're just talking about. I mean, you know, Campbell is a very, very competent fighter, and he should be talking up, hey, this is marvelous. Campbell now has a chance to win the title, plus 2 other titles by beating Lomachenko. So I don't know where Eddie is coming from, with his criticism, but, it's certainly not a valid criticism.
Is it likely that fight lands in the UK, Bob?
It's not only likely, it's going to land in the UK. If I have to promote it myself here in the UK, it's going to be in the UK. Why? Because Loma has real an affinity for London. He won his gold medal, second gold medal here in London. When he visited England for the Usyk fight in Manchester, he was mobbed by the people, and he's told me in no uncertain terms, I want to fight next in the UK.
Just the last question, Bob. Has Ramirez vacated? WBO haven't put out any sort of circular on that?
Yes, he's vacated. Yeah, we helped him with a letter that he sent to the president of the WBO, Paco Valcarcel, thanking Paco for really supporting him for his whole career and hoping that he would become the #1 rated contender in the light heavyweight division.
Bob Arum, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV.